Hi folks, and welcome back to Fishing with Den. Well, if you watched the last video, you're probably aware that this is a Feederfest fishing weekend for feeder fishing only, as the title suggests, and it's fished to World Championship rules. Again, if you watched the last video, you'll know that the field has been pretty much depleted because we had a COVID outbreak in Melbourne, and so basically 2/3 of the field has had to rush back before the border closed. But us from New South Wales, we're going to have a go at it, and as I say, we're going to fish to World Championship rules, which is somewhat different. First of all, you can't fish with a method feeder. You can't use a hair rig, and you can't use a hook which is any bigger than a gape of 7mm, which is probably something like a 10, which is what I'm using now. I'm actually using a Preston KKH-B barbless in a size 10, and I'm on 10 pounds mainline. Now, normally you would have a 15-minute pre-baiting period, but because we're doing this a lot more informally, we're going to run that bit slightly differently, and we're just going to have a 6-hour match rather than the 5-hour. What I'm going to do to start with, I've got this great big feeder here, and I'm going to put 4 or 5 feederfuls out there at about 45 metres, and then I'm going to put a couple of feederfuls at the 20-metre mark, just as I did in the last one. I did reasonably well in the last one. I had 19 fish, and I had, I think it was 37 kilos, which from memory is something like 83 pounds, and I came third. Well, that wasn't good enough. We're going to have to do better this time. So the whistle's about to go, actually, and I'll talk you through a few other things as we're going through. But again, if you watched the video last time, you'll be aware of pretty much what the situation is. The field of anglers, yep, still very, very high quality. We would have had some anglers who have actually fished for the international teams if the other guys had been able to stay, but again, we do have some really high class anglers here, so I'll be pretty pleased if I just come somewhere, you know, around about, it's like, even if it was third, I wouldn't have a problem with that. That'd be quite good. Of course, I would like to win, and we're going to be going all out for that. I actually got beaten by one fish as usual. I think it was about 700 grams, just over a pound, and that's the all-in just gone, so I'm going to have to get started, and we'll talk a bit more in a second. I'm allowed to have up to 12 litres of ground bait, but it was -3 last night, so 12 litres of ground bait is not going to be required in this match. I think yesterday I probably used 5 litres, and again we're limited on baits. We aren't allowed to use pretty much anything other than sweet corn, maggots, and in this one they are actually allowing bread, but in the World Championships bread isn't allowed, so pretty restrictive in that respect. Right, I'm just going to get this out to where I need it to be. Good old chuck. There we go. Let it sink for a second. As I say, it was -3 last night, so I don't want to be putting too much feed in. Obviously we're going to be gauging it as we go. So I'm just going to put 4 feederfuls in for now, and we'll see how it goes from there. I'm fishing at 45 metres because we found that along this length it is pretty much the same sort of depth all the way along, and that's about 10 feet further out. So here we go. Okay, I've got the feed out there now. I'm not allowed to feed with a catapult, by hand, or by any other means. It has to go in through the feeder, so that's why we did it that way. Also on the rules, the feeder must be free running, can't be any stops there, and the distance from the base of the feeder to the hook has to be at least 50 centimetres, I believe. Right, so that's plenty of room there. So that's pretty much it for now. Basically I've got 10 pound mainline on to cope with the heavy duty sort of angle of these sorts of things. So I'm just now going to put this smaller feeder on. It's about half the size of the other one, and just cast out, and probably have to wait a short while. It took me about an hour to an hour and a half yesterday to get a bite, but let's see how it goes today. Okay, right, it's pretty flat calm still, and the weather's warmed up phenomenally, so quite happy so far. Just get my line sunk, and we'll take it from there. Right, we're in. That'll do. Just make sure we get this first one in as usual. There's a few snags out there I noticed, and the guy yesterday was complaining about that too. Just hoping that we don't have too many issues with it. Pulling back a bit differently today. I think it was just pulling through the reeds there, that sort of grass stuff that we talked about last time. Here we go, it's starting to come towards me now. It's always nice to get that first one in. Just hope we do. Yesterday there was nothing bigger than about £5 in my net. I think the rest of the lads were the same. Yeah, everything from £3 to £5 was what was caught. Neil to my right has already had 2 or 3 fish. It's literally like an aquarium, I think, with the way it went in. It was 20 seconds, it had gone round again for him. I've been about half an hour to get this bite. So, yeah, you see all the grass on the thing? Not what you need. Ooh. He certainly woke up, didn't he? That would have been that resistance I felt when I first started to reel him in. Gonna have to be careful of that. Alright, come on. Where are you? That's a fair bit of weed on it, isn't it? Look at that. Now it's tangled around itself, so it's coming in like a sack now. I don't know. There you go, he's unhooked himself a bit. Or untangled himself, rather. They're talking about me further up at the moment. I think they're all desperate for a bite. Come on, fish. Still all this green stuff attached. They're so fit for winter. Right, here we go. That'll do nicely. First fish in the net always makes you feel better. This is that stuff I'm talking about. It's like a streamer stuff. Horrible. There's a load more of it in the net here. Get him untangled. And it's nicely hooked in the lip, so that's good. Barbless hook, of course. Although I do believe you're allowed to use barbed hooks in the World Championships. I just never do. Right. Let's get back out there and do it again. Well, that was on the 45 metre line, which is where I caught most yesterday. Or mostly yesterday. And that seems to be where Neil's catching as well, so I don't know if I'll actually use the 20 metre line today, but it's there just in case. Okay. Hardly any wind again today, which is good and bad. Good for me, bad maybe for the fishing. You don't like to have a flat calm, and there has been times when it's been almost flat calm today. Just went round again, so that's only 3 or 4 minutes in the water. So I don't want to say too much, but it's certainly fishing better than it did yesterday for me. Don't want to come in, do they? Here we go. Yep. 2. Not as big as the last one, but it seems that they average sort of £4 by the time you've averaged the whole net full out, based on what I saw yesterday. So we'll go with that. Because my 19 fish yesterday came to 37 kilos. So I call it 38, and 219s is 38 last time I looked. So we'll go with that one. Well, that was a bit of a pain. I've just snagged up on the bottom and right out where I'm fishing, which is not good. I've lost pretty much everything and having to re-tackle, which you don't really want to have to do at this point. I probably lost another 3, 4, 5 minutes here. Luckily no one's really catching much at the moment, so I don't think I'm falling particularly behind. But I just hope I don't keep getting snagged up on whatever that is out there. Okay, just get the feeder on, we'll get back out there. Right, well, while I was messing around with all that, I haven't had a fish. And to be honest, I'm not sure if the others have, because it's kind of taken my concentration off a bit. Anyway, let's get back out there. Right, hopefully they're still there. Nice pull round. Just hope we don't get into any more snags down there. That last one was just solid. I lost everything. Try and get him through the initial stages so I can hopefully get clear of any of them. It's kind of thrown me out of my rhythm a little bit, that. And that one just fell off. Well, what have you got to do? You have these periods in matches where things just don't go right. The thing is, don't let your head go down, just keep plugging on, because you probably find that a lot of other people are going through similar issues. Still annoying though, isn't it? Well, a long time waiting and 2 or 3 lots of tackle lost. Well, that's decided to take a bit. That's the first bite I've had for about an hour or more. Ivan's on about 6. Some of the guys up there have had a few as well, but I've actually had a real torrid time of it. There seems to be all this grass as I come in, and there's also something else down there. I just go solid and end up losing the hook. So, just hope this one doesn't fall off, because I'll be really fed up at that point. Really struggling today. What I've done is actually put another 2 or 3 meters on the length of the line I was fishing, so that instead of fishing at 45 meters, I'm fishing at sort of 48, something like that. Hopefully that's out of the way of that green weed stuff, grass, whatever it is. It's certainly causing me problems today. Right, well, at least I've had a bite, so that's more than I've had for a while. I'm pleased about that. It's not the biggest fish in the world, but get in the net. That'll do. 3, finally. I was beginning to wonder if I'd ever get another bite. Still, it's just the way it is. Slight indication there. Oh, and proper pull. That'll do. Just get past that grass. I feel it pulling through it. So we can go this way a bit. Yep, we seem to be through it, that's okay. At least I even slowed down a bit, that's something. The guys to my right, I don't really know what they've caught, so I could be just going through the motions here, but you never know. If I get it, I think this will be 6, but put a few more in the net. You never know, do you? Never say die. I think this one's a little bit bigger than the other ones. I've been catching those small ones, which is all very helpful. Fish in here are all pretty much the same sort of size as I said before, 3 to 5 pounds. Haven't seen anything bigger come out at all. Trouble is, these are like those Ferrari carp that go lurching off when they need to and don't give up. They start off sluggish, but they don't end up that way. Cool, right, 6, I think. Oh yeah, that's a bigger fish for you. Oh! Might just slowing down now. Previously you'd get a bite within sort of 2 or 3 minutes of going in, but now it's taking a lot longer. But we are in the last hour of the match now, so maybe that's what is going on. It's pointed to the left, it's in amongst that weed again. I can feel it grating through it. Just lost another hook length to a snag out there, so certainly give a good account of themselves, don't they? For winter fishing as well. I'm not really fishing fine at all. I've got a 6 pound hook length on the bottom, 10 pound main line, and not deterring them one bit. If I hadn't had this kind of heavy gear, I'd have been really losing tackle all over the place. $17. Well, if I can do the same as yesterday, I will actually be quite pleased. Well, I think this is going to have to be the last fish of the day if it comes in, because I didn't have much time to go. If it comes straight in, I might just about get 3 or 4 minutes, but this will be 23 if I get it in. And boat wash again, banging off the platform. Don't want to be rushing it, even so. But if I can get another 2 or 3 minutes out there, that could be another fish in the net. And as of yesterday, I missed coming second by 1 fish, or half a fish even. So let's just see if we can get this one in relatively quickly. Come on, fish. He's tangled himself up around the fins at the moment. Oh, I think he's free of it now. Right. $23. Cool. Right. Okay. Well, 23 it is then. See if it's even worth casting in. Where are we at with time? Ooh, I'm okay. I've got 5 minutes. That must have come in a lot quicker than I expected. Except that I'm all at a 2 and 8, as John Wilson used to say. 2 and 8. Bit of a state. Oops. Right, always a chance of another fish now. I've just about got enough time. Well, it actually went round in the time. So this will be 24. I mean, I must have had about 3 or 4 fish in the last few minutes. Why couldn't it have been like that throughout the match? Couldn't possibly get... No, there's not enough time with any. Probably 2 minutes to go. Doing the usual thing though. Coming in and then fighting like that. Oh, okay, that was different. Got some grass with him as well. That's a smallish one. That could be the difference between a good place and a non-place. 24. Why couldn't it have been like this before? How are we? I've got less than a minute. I don't even think I can get in that time, but you never know. Well, the all-out's gone, and I obviously didn't get a chance to get another cast in, but 24 fish is respectable for the day. I'm pretty sure I haven't won it because Neil next door to me's got quite a few fish. Don't know about the rest of the guys down there because I can't see them, but I think I've beaten everyone to the left of me. So I'll get this thing weighed in and I'll get back to you shortly. Morning all, it's day 2 of the Feederfest festival competition, and just before I get started I thought I'd just show you results of yesterday's competition, which was day 1. Of course the overall results are based on both days fishing, and the total weight of both days wins the competition. So the good news is I actually won it yesterday. I had about 98 pounds. Second had almost 98, so it was again 1 fish in it, depends on what you lose, remember I said that. And third had 92 pounds, almost 93. So with a bit of luck today, I've drawn reasonably well. This peg's fished quite well the last day or 2. So basically, I'm in with a chance. Even if I don't win, it's been a great competition. So I'm just showing you what's behind me. If you look up there, it's just a bank of fog. And the reason for the waves is because there's a boat out there somewhere, and I really don't know where it is, but it's a beautiful morning and I'm just about to get started, and so I'll pick up again as soon as I'm ready. The all-in's just gone. I've got the feeder full of bait, and it's just a question of finding a target over there, which is a big tree for me, and giving it some welly. There we go. A few seconds in there, let the feeder disperse its contents, and we'll be back in again. Repeat that 4 to 6 times, and then we're good to go and have a bit of a fish. Well, I think that's kind of good news in a way. I've literally just finished the pre-baiting thing and just cast in, and as I did it, Ivan was into a fish straight away, so hopefully they'll also be here. First cast into a fish. I think Ivan's had 2 bites, but bodes well, doesn't it? Just got to get it in. Oh, we're just adjusting the backrest as well. It's just reeling in. Start to wonder if he got it on at times. Right, okay, he's woken up. As always, take the first one easy. Got a bit of sweet corn up at the swivel as well. That happened yesterday too. Okay, thank you very much. That sweet cod's right up on the line. It's only a small one, but more than happy. Ivan's on, was it 5 fish? Mark next to me is on 2 fish, and I've just had a bite, so come out of the line clip, put that back in. I was beginning to wonder if it was going to go round because we're about 50 minutes in, as in 50 minutes. Bit of a slow plod with this guy. Just hoping there's not too much like grass around. I know there's been a few issues with it. Oh, speak about it. Just getting caught in it. Number through. Yeah, he's woken up, look. Good bite though, pulled it right round. It's actually not all that big. It's not the average. Can't see what I'm doing for the sun on the water. Right. 2. Oh, it's not that bad. Typical, messing around with that camera down there and it goes round again. And again, this feels like a decent fish. Just trying to stop it from going past the line clip. Just use my finger on the spool just to slow the thing down a bit, put a bit extra pressure on. Should be okay now, it's got a few winds on. Right, well, I think that must be Ivan's 10th then. This is my 9th. Either that or we're still playing the same fish. 9. Well, I'd have to say, we're probably a couple of hours in now, and I don't think I had anywhere near this many yesterday. So, who knows? I can keep them coming. This one's just inside its mouth out of the way. Ah, got him. Right, so 9 then. The wind's got up a bit today. It's a little bit stronger. It's putting a good ripple on the water, so maybe that's having an effect, or maybe it's just the bait from the last few days having kept the fish in the area. Well, had those 9 fish and it stopped. Just stopped dead. Haven't had a bite for about an hour. Ivan's on at least 15 now to my 9. So, hopefully they'll turn up again soon. This is what happened to Ivan yesterday. I continued to catch and he stopped. Oh, finally. And I literally just got snagged up, had to change the hook, cast out, and it literally settled and it went round. First bite in well over an hour. Ivan must be on 16 now, I think. It's a good job. Ivan was quite a long way behind me yesterday. He's got quite a ways to catch up if he wants to win this tournament. So if I can keep catching, and none of my close rivals like Danny or Gareth do as well as me, then I've got it in the bag. But if either of those two catch, I'm kind of, well, I've probably blown it at that point. So as long as I can put a few more fish in the net, I'll be hopeful. I gather they're not catching too well down there, but you never know with this kind of situation. Can't actually see them, that's the problem. Come on, fish. Trouble is, once you lose one, just dropping it off, it kind of can knock your confidence a bit. You're thinking, well, they all drop off, but probably just me. Right, finally, it's 10. Ooh, that took a long time to come. When you've got to laugh, haven't you? Never saw the bite, and I'm just about to reel in, or I was reeling in, and there's one on the end. Amazing. Feels reasonable too. Haven't had a bite for so long, I wouldn't recognise one anymore. I think Ivan's up to 16 now. If I get this one, then it'll be 11. But I'm way behind him. I still don't know if it's foul hooked or not because it was just lying there on it. Doesn't feel like a foul hooked fish, but you never know. I dropped the last two. And it's fell off again. What can you do? What can you do? Got a fish on, but as I caught it, that guy that's in the background there, he came tearing along in front of our swims, right in front of Ivan, pulled in front of him. Ivan cast out and was just a few feet away from him, and the bloke turned around and smiled and he said, "You nearly got me." Didn't see the irony at all. Don't think Ivan's happy. Don't think he's happy at all. You got to feel sorry for him, but the bloke just hasn't got a clue. Poor old Ivan. Huh. Anyway, if we actually get this one in, it will be 15. But, oh, slow going. Oh dear. Poor old Ivan. Yesterday I lost one fish all day. Today it's a few. I think probably 4, maybe 5. Just pulling off out there and no particular reason. Come on, fish. I've still got an hour, so I can still do some damage if I could just get a few bites. Very patchy today, which is a bit of a surprise, but oh well. Right, 15. Nice enough fish. Well, update. We're 16 minutes to go, and Ivan's just shouted to me how many have I got, and I've got 21. And would you believe he's actually got the same? So things are looking up. Couple more fish because he seems to have slowed down, and you never know. Never say die, Den. Never say die. That's the end of the match, guys. I've had 21 fish. Ivan next to me has just had one more, so he's got 22. So I really don't know how this is going to go. I think the lads at the end there have caught a few fish. We'll have to wait until the results, won't we?
Yeah. Special thanks to Danny for being match secretary, pegging it out for us. And a big thank you to Ivan for doing all the way in and really hurrying things along.
Yeah, well done, Ivan, mate.
Well done, everyone. We'd still be there without you, mate.
Yeah. All right, so the knock-up match on the Friday, day 1. Second with 38 kilos was myself, and first with 53 kilos, 450, Gareth.
Well done, Gareth, mate. Well done.
Well done, sir.
On the second, well done.
Day 1 of the mini feeder festival, and second with, well, you've got the weight here, 44.3 kilos was Danny.
Yeah.
Well done, Danny.
Well done, sir. Smile for the camera.
Small thing. That's as good as it gets, mate.
And first on day one with a weight of 46 kilos, 325. Dennis.
Well done. Speech. Battered me off. Video. Next peg. Come on. Done. Good one. Thank you.
Right on to day two, and second with 42 kilos was Ivan. Well done, Ivan.
Hey, Ivan.
Really?
And first with 44.65 kilos, Danny.
Well done, that man.
Stay there.
All right, so there was an overall for the 2 days. Third with 79.85, Gareth. Second with 84.275, Dennis. And champion for the weekend with 88.955 kilos, Danny.
That one again. Well done, Danny.
Well done. There you go.
All of it, mine.
Well done. Really? No. There you go, Dan.
Aye.
That's sweet, ain't it?
And water as well.
You don't want that, do you?
Thanks, Ivan.
No, he wants the water on the line.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for everybody that
Safe
organised
travels
it.
home.
Yeah, I bought some nice wines. You missed out on all of it, Ralph.
So that's Feederfest all done and dusted for another year then, folks. It's just a pity that COVID-19 reared its ugly head again, and quite a number of the boys had to call off and return to their homes. But for those of us that did fish it, we all had a good time. Certainly from my perspective, I had a good time. Third on the warm-up match, first on the first day of the main match, and I came third again on the second day of the main match. Overall, came second, so more than happy with that. Would have been nice to have won, but just that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Could I have won it? Well, yes, of course I could. If I hadn't dropped one or two of those fish that I did, or if I'd had a few more bites. But then again, everybody else probably went through the same sort of situation as well. It all came down to just one or two fish over the 2-day period, but in the end, Danny won it, and fair play to him, he won the championship too. As far as the other guys, most of them had a good series of matches. There were one or two pegs that didn't really perform all that well, but that's the way it is sometimes. Anyway, that's it. As I said, we're done and dusted for another year. Just a final thank you to Ivan, Mark and Danny for doing all the organisation for the match and for running a very smooth match as well. So that's it then, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, click the button. If you want to subscribe, you can always do that too. And until the next time, bye for now.